Hello and welcome to the Best Year Yet training. Now, this came through the 20 years I've been working with clients and actually better understanding how to help them becoming their best cheerleader and actually getting back on track. And as much as this training is actually now being recorded live on December 2022 to help create an amazing year of 2023, this training can be used at any time of the year. Okay, because any day is a great day to set some goals and make them happen. Now, here is the thing. The most important thing about this training is I would want you to do it in two parts. First of all, I want you to listen to the full training, really get the understanding behind it, as I'm going to walk you through the workbook that honestly is transformative. And I cannot wait for me right now to get into it for my December to get started for January, because I do this every year since I've been creating this training. But the second time around, I want you to go through it and complete the workbook, because we are sometimes human beings and we just listen and we learn, but we're not implementing. And this is really regarding my process of helping my clients, which is the LEAP process, which is I help them learn, execute, assess, and then you progress. But very often we're just in the learning and we're not actually executing anything or assessing anything to be able to progress. And here's the thing. We talked often, and I've done trainings about this inside of my private membership about the SMART or creating smarter goals. And again, I am not taking anything away from that, and that is still amazing. However, there's always a little bit something missing, a little bit of heart and soul missing when we're creating kind of those goals for us for the next coming year, or even the next quarter, or even the next month. And this is where this training came to life. It actually was just created for one client of helping her see how I create change every year, how I focus my goals every year, my health, my life, my business, my relationship. And right now I'm giving you the inside deets so that you can create your best year yet. And if you're watching this on the replay, do comment right below if you have any questions about it, and do connect with me if anything in this resonates with you. And again, I love your input, because every single year when I do this training, I keep improving it and making it better and clearer, because I am not here to offer million one ways to do things. I am here to give you something simple. Simplicity is the key. And again, slow and steady wins the race. So let's get started. Let me open up the document, and then we're going to be ready to go. Share screen. There you go. So you're going to be seeing my workbook right now. Let me just give me a second. I'm going to pause the share. And get it started. And if you hear little steps in the background, it's my dog who's coming in. There we go. So now we're able to see. Perfect. So let me make this a little bit smaller, and then we are ready to go. There we go. So welcome to the best year yet. I should have, why isn't this? Oh, so much better. There we go. So of course, with a nice little bow, helping you to create an epic year. So again, this is an amazing deep dive document. I'm going to go through the process to better explain to you what is going on, and as you have access to it and this training. So welcome. I am so excited to have you here. I've been in the coaching industry for the past 20 years plus. If you don't know who I am, my name is Dina. I am a dietitian, NLP practitioner, and as well a yoga and mindfulness teacher. And you might be kind of like, what is NLP? It's actually a neuro-linguistic program. I actually help people rewire their mindset, rewire the way that they see life to be able to create an epic life. And what happened to the past 20 years and plus as I'm working, I really want to make sure to help my clients become their best cheerleaders and try to bring the change from the inside out for them to be able to transform their life, but actually connecting to what I'm going to be sharing with you today in today's training. And this, yes, this is going to be some homework because we need to plan a little bit. If there's no plan, everything stays a dream, it's not a goal. And life is short. Let's make the most of it every single day. And that's where the training came in. So this can take actually 30 to 60 minutes to go through. I'm going to go through the training now, but then I really want you to take time to go through this workbook and taking the time, closing your phone, no distraction. Make sure that no one's disturbing you. Mute everything, close the door, and really set this time for you, because by setting the time for you, you are truly connecting to what you want to create in your life. And then everything else is going to be so much easier. So very often we just go in terms of just planning what we want and just jumping into it. However, we need to review our past year. We do, because we're actually going to be having some wins and some lessons. So looking back at the previous year, or maybe if you want the past 3 to 6 months, try to see what were the wins of the year. We want to kind of, give ourselves a little bit of pride and success of what we did. I'm sure you have some wins. Is there anything that you actually created in the past few months that no matter how small it is, that you're like, I was able to do it? Were you able to bring in more activity than you're used to? Were you able to speak up at work and ask for that promotion? Were you able to bring that water every single day? Again, anything that is regarding to the goal of why you joined this training, I want you to write the wins. The second part, you want to look at the lessons. You might label them as failure, but as well, with every failure, there's a lesson that we can actually grow, because through challenges, that's where we're able to change our life. So what are the lessons for the year? Did you, for example, I'm going to use fitness. Did you try to bring fitness in the morning, but then you realize in the morning it's really too crazy for you? Maybe we're going to have to bring in more in the afternoon. Maybe you try to bring in the water and it really didn't work out. Then say, okay, maybe I need to bring in like herbal tea. So we're really looking at the lessons of what are certain things that you tried to implement and they were a bit of a struggle, but you still want to try to find a way to implement them into your day-to-day. So now that you looked at the amazing things, so when you look in terms of the lessons, and when you look at the, for example, as we talked about, the wins, now we look at the dark side a little bit, looking at those big bumps in the road that you weren't able to get through it. Okay, so we talked about before, it could be, the wins you worked out, and the lesson you're like, oh, maybe sometimes, in the morning was very hard, we need to bring it up in the afternoon. A win that you had, maybe, or you did have the water, but maybe you realize just pure water on its own, you need to kind of add in flavoring. So I'm just giving you some ideas. So what are the bumps on the road? What did you try to bring in the past year, in the past few months, that did not work out the way that you wanted? Maybe you tried to bring in the fitness and it didn't work out. Maybe you tried to lose the weight and it didn't work out. Maybe you tried to go for that promotion and it didn't work out. But here is the thing. When you look at these losses as these bumps on the road, there's always lessons behind them. And the lesson is better understanding what you want as well, and as well, what is realistic for you. Because there's a saying that we say, things are not happening to me, they're happening for me. So when you see the loss that happened, that is within your control to change and to upgrade, seeing it as, okay, so this happened, it didn't work out the way that I wanted. What is a lesson behind it? Best example, and again, I'm going to use fitness. If you hate the gym, don't go for the gym. It's really that simple. If you keep pushing yourself to do something that you do not like, it's always going to be a loss. It's always going to be a failure. So the lesson is, I'm learning that the gym is not for me. I tried it and I forced it, but it's not for me. So what are the other options that you can bring in for you as well? Now, once you're going to clear it up, understanding what worked, what didn't work, and what are the lessons that you grew from them, let's build a vision. You want to take a bird's eye view of what's coming up in the upcoming year, what you really want to create. And it's time to get clear in terms of that. Here, I invite you to free write whatever comes to mind for at least 10 minutes. So yes, put a timer on and let your inner child dream big with the biggest and boldest things that you want. Now, we're not here saying, oh, I need to bring something realistic. Just gonna put everything on paper, like as if you're a child, right? The aim is just to get everything out And then you can sort out what you want and what you don't want. And again, this is all for you. No judgment, no restriction, no fear, just writing for those 10 minutes. Now, you might be like, oh my God, if this is for you, you pause this video and you jump into it and you just kind of write down everything that you want, your health, your life, your relationships, your business, everything at all. But if you find there's a bit of a struggle to understand what you want, okay, you might actually be benefiting from the second page, which is sometimes when you don't know what you want, it's time to write what you do not want, which means what you want is the opposite of it. So maybe for you want to go to the second page here and really writing what you don't want in the coming year, what you want to let go of, what you want to release, what you want no longer to be part of your life. And when you're able to write down what you do not want, it will create clarity, creating the opposite of exactly what you want. So again, it's the clarity, right? So if you know what you want, you write it down. If you're not sure what you want, go into terms of what you don't want anymore. That will guide you. And I'll give you another gift as well. Just comment right below. There's also some guided meditations that I did that can help you better understand what you want without getting the mind, the conscious mind, getting in the way, what's realistic, what's not realistic. Really a nice, amazing guided meditation to help you see the vision, the big picture of actually what you want to be creating in the upcoming year or the next 2 years or 5 years or even the next few months. So there's 3 ways of knowing what you want. But it's important to know what you want. Because if you don't know what you want, we don't know what path we're going to take. We don't know what goals we want to reach over. And here, as you can see, there's a lot of space. Open up everything. Your health, your work, your relationship, your house, traveling, everything that you want. Do you want to write a book? Do you want to have an amazing weekend away with your partner? Do you want to get a dog? Anything at all. What is your vision? What is your big dream? Very often we kind of think of just one something specific and we put all our eggs in one basket. But to create an epic life, it's a life. There's different facets, different areas of it. So I really want you to think big. And then when we're going to be looking at the next pages, we're going to actually tune in to certain areas. But I want you to start dreaming. I want you to kind of get this flutter of excitement, something to look forward to. This is where the want is. Again, understanding as well what you don't want is very important so that you know what you're going to be doing less of. And following that meditation, just comment right below. I'll send you the link to help you maybe just go through a seated, close your eyes, listening to the meditation that I created. That's actually going to help you as well create that amazing vision. Now that you did all that, we did the whole lessons, the wins, the losses, the goals. Now we're building up that vision. So now with all the list of what you want, we want to trim down that list so that you have some small number of really significant goals that you can focus on and feel good with. Because when you try to accomplish 50 things, guess what happens? You accomplish nothing. Multitasking, doing it all is the quickest path to burnout. And this is not to say that you cannot have it all. All we're saying is that right now we want to create a focused work on a small group of goals that actually creates a bigger snowball effect on your life than dispersing your energy on 1,001 things. And this has actually been proven. When you're actually able to focus on certain goals and you end up succeeding at those goals, it gives you that momentum to start tackling the other goals that you're seeking. And here I wrote 5. List 5 things, 5 goals that you would like to accomplish in the next year. Maybe some at 6 months, but give yourself a year. Very often we might give ourselves a goal that we want to hit something in 2-3 months. It might be a little fast depending on what the goal is, and it can be a lot of pressure because we're thinking long term. You might still be setting the same goal every single year because we want to do things so fast. But again, when we do things so fast, within 3 weeks, actually studies have shown that we get off track because we try to do it all and then nothing gets stuck in your habit. So here, I want you to focus on maybe 5 goals or less of what you want to create. And as well, it's very good to have maybe 5 different goals. 1 for your health, 1 for your relationships, 1 for your family, 1 for your work, 1 for your spiritual life. It can be so many different facets. But it's good to have different goals to have a full life in all the areas of your life. The way that I set my goals, I give myself the 5 goals in the next year, but there's 3 that I actually really want to focus on. It helps me really focus on it to not overwhelm my day. And I have the 2 other ones kind of like on the back burner, waiting for when I hit one of the goals. I'm like, oh, I know exactly where the next one is. So you can also do it in that way if you want. And as well, if you have just this one big goal you want to focus on, go for it. But give yourself little other ones because, again, we have a full life and it's not just only one goal. There's so many other things that I'm sure you want to create in your life as well. And here is something I really want us to focus on is that we want to create understanding why are those goals important. I'll give you an example. Somebody might say, I want to lose weight. Okay, why is this important to you? I mean, feel better with my clothing. Okay, why is this important to you? I'll be able to go shopping in other stores. Okay, why is that important to you? And the reason for that is you really want to get down to the essence of why this goal is important for you. Because when you really go down to the essence, it actually goes beyond the number and the clothing size. There's actually different stuff. There's energy, there's medical reasons, physical reasons, there's traveling maybe coming up and you might be able to walk around with your family. Like there's so many reasons why maybe you want to lose weight, but I want you to focus on the positive things that are waiting for you when you accomplish it. And this is why is this so important to you? Not your doctor, not to your partner, not to your kids, not to your friends, to you. And really focusing on that. And here I only put like one section, but it's good for every single one of your goals to have why is this important to you and to keep it. You're going to see why. And then we're going to be diving into it. Second part is how would creating and achieving these goals impact your life? Okay, close your eyes and visualize you reaching your goals and note the feelings it gives you. The guided meditation that I'm sharing actually helps and guides you through that. So again, how would that impact you, your life, your work, your relationship, everything at all? You really want to make it bigger than just you, because every change, every goal that you want to create actually has a ripple effect on everybody else around you. And it's good to actually create that because by envisioning it, it actually gives more fuel to the fire to help you move forward. How would creating and achieving these goals impact people in your life? Because sometimes we might be doing certain things for people around us. When we're focusing, I talk a lot about health because I'm a dietitian and as well NLP practitioner, helping people upgrade the health, release the stress eating, and actually create a life free from stress around food and feeling good in their bodies. And as women, sometimes when I'm talking to my clients that are mothers, they want to create a better relationship with their food because they want to be an example for their kids. Or maybe they want to create that change to actually have their kids be better with their bodies. There's so many things, there's such a ripple effect. Maybe when you're feeling better in your body, you're more joyful. You want to go to events. You want to have amazing trips with your family, take pictures with them. Like it really goes above and beyond than just, for example, losing weight and a number on the scale, and seeing how it positively impacts people around you for you to create and go after that goal. And now we need to look at the other side is what would happen if you don't prioritize these goals and accomplish them? What would happen? Because we realize that there's 2 different actually facets of change. Sometimes we do a change for the positive things that are going to be coming out from it. But some people actually, they want to change because they don't want to have this, what would happen if it doesn't prioritize, right? We're like, oh, I need to lose weight because I don't want to get diabetes. I don't want to have my knee issues, like hips, we go into the negative thing. So we're not saying there's a good way or there's a bad way, but we want to leverage both. By creating that goal, what are you actually going to be avoiding and what are you going to be gaining? And this is very important part because you want to maneuver both of them to help be the catalyst for you to create that change. And this is the most important question. How important is it for you right now to avoid what you mentioned before? Like, how important is it for you right now to not have the negative effects of not reaching that goal? How important is it for you right now to make sure that you reach that goal? So you can go from 0 to 10, but we want to aim at a 10. Because if it's not a 10 right now, then what's getting in the way? Maybe you don't see the emergency of reaching it. Maybe you don't believe that you're able to change it. Again, there's no right or wrong, but you really want to shed light of what's blocking you from moving forward. Because very often it's not that people do not know what to do, is that they don't believe they can create it, or they're scared of trying and failing. So they actually quit before even trying. Or they say, I'm not worth it. Why am I even trying again? And this is actually the most important question. When a client comes to work with me and their motivation is 5 on 10, I actually might not even take them as a client. I talk to them, what is going to take for it to be 10 on 10? Because when you're on 10 on 10, that's when we're creating change. When you're 5 on 10, you didn't tap in too much in terms of why is this important to you? How can it impact the people around you? And maybe you're actually focusing on that goal, not even for you. You don't even care about that goal. You care about something else. And we need to tap into that, because when you get into that motivation 10 on 10, that's when you're really creating an amazing start of the year. So now when you look through what you talked about, we remember the 5 goals that you listed. Reading over your goals, any thoughts pop up that make you think you cannot accomplish them? And here's the thing. We have 60 to 70,000 thoughts every single day. And most of those thoughts are actually negative thoughts, protective thoughts, stay in your comfort zone thoughts, do not rock the boat thoughts. So it is normal that you're going to have ideas that are going to be coming up like, I can't do them. I'm not able to, it's too hard, I can't, it's not me, I've struggled with this, who am I to create that change? And it's good to bring these thoughts up, because remember, thoughts are created. Thoughts are not the absolute truth. They're probably something that you were raised with, or people that told you or you believed in, but you can always rewire them. But it's better to understand what are the thoughts coming in, because again, a lot of people would rather just quit than fail. And here's the thing, successful people welcome the failing, because they tried and they tried and they tried, but they went all the way to the end. And then, okay, this time I did the whole process, it didn't work, I'm doing something else. But very often we quit midway, we quit right before getting there. And that's why looking at what are those thoughts that are popping up, this is actually what might be blocking you from creating that change. Now we're going to be flipping it around from the other side. What type of person do you have to become? The person who makes her goals or his goals a success. Like, what personality traits is needed to become that person? So when I looked at that goal, for example, for me, one of my main goals was actually becoming, again, more physically fit. I used to be a competitive swimmer. Then when I was struggling with my weight, it was like wishy-washy with my training. But I was like, no, like, I want to make sure my body's strong and healthy. I want to be strong and healthy for the very long time. I want to limit any problems with my body. I want to be more independent as I get older. So who's the person that has to be, who do I have to become to be fit? I need to tell myself I am physically fit. Fitness is important. I am dedicated to my work, to my goals. I am somebody who holds myself accountable, and I am somebody who seeks support when needed. This is the identity of the person. I told myself I am somebody who's accountable, who's dedicated, who's disciplined. I am a fit person already, and I will make sure I get the right support to get things done. So that's how I was able to create more of a fitness routine. And right now, fitness is just something of like it's like brushing my teeth. It's like part of my daily routine, because it makes me feel better. Let it be 10 minutes, let it be an hour. I gauge it, but I'm able to say I am a physically fit person, because I decided to become the person who is physically fit before I saw it in the mirror or in the clothing, or when I'm like on my spinning bike, huffing and puffing in the beginning. And now still there, but very, very different. So you really need to see who is that person who has reached that goals. And one way that you can look at that is see somebody around you who has accomplished the goal that you're seeking. It can be somebody in your office, somebody in your family, even a TV personality. It can be anybody. But try to see what are their character traits? What is their personality? And you'll see very often there's certain things you're like, okay, that person is accountable. That person is disciplined. That's going to help you out, because to become the disciplined person, you have to start acting disciplined, which means for me, I had to work out every day, even if it's 5 minutes. I worked out, I'm making discipline to say, this is something that I want to create. I'm going to move, even if it's for 5 minutes, because I said so. creating accountability for yourself, becoming your best cheerleader and your best coach. This is actually very important to kind of look into it. And could be fun to see the personality traits of people around you that have accomplished the goal that you want. And that will be a resource because, again, you can create that personality. Everything is within you, everything. We just need to fine tune a few things and create consistency to make it happen. So now that you looked at all that, there's like a lot of like amazing energy and probably like sparks flying of what you want to create. I want you to focus on 3 main goals for the next 3 months. If you're starting this for 2023, then January to March, but only focus on 3. Again, remember, if you do too much, you end up doing nothing. And focusing on 3 actually helps you make sure that you're focusing on different areas of your life and not just one area and neglecting the others. And again, we're adding fuel to the fire. Why are these goals important for you to focus on in the first place? Why? Why is this important? If you're like, I don't know, it's not going to happen. Trust me. But if you really fuel up that vision and you exactly know why this is important, how it's going to be impacting your life in the good way, and if you don't actually create the change with the goals and reaching them, how it's going to negatively impact your life, you're not going to create that flow to help you move forward and create that change. Big change. Okay, so my dog is coming. It's almost dinner time for her. So we're building the vision. Looking at the 3 different goals, right? I want you to think about your goal number 1 that you listed. How will you feel when you reach it? Write it down. How will you feel? Closing your eyes and seeing yourself reaching that goal. How are you going to feel? Do the same thing for goal number 2 and do the same thing for goal number 3. So it's very important for these 3 moments to actually close your eyes and envision yourself that you reached that goal. Now you're reaching it. You're there. You made it happen. How are you going to feel? Are you going to feel free, empowered, excited, proud, happy, full, uplifted? Everything is possible. Because when you create that, you see, even me just saying it, I'm saying these words and it's like you feel it good. When you create a change from a positive feeling aspect, you create change. If you don't feel anything positive about it, it's like, why am I even going to be creating that change? You see where I'm going with this? Really focusing on the positive feeling. And you have your goal, you focus on the goals, but now how are you going to bring focus on these goals every single day? How are those going to be top of mind? Are you going to put post-its? Are you going to journal on it? Are you going to put it on the wall? For me, I write my goals on a page in my journal, and every morning I reread them. Sometimes I rewrite them because maybe I have a different thing, the way I want to explain it. But I reread them every single day because I really make sure I'm starting my morning with my goals in mind to get things started. Every day, not once a week. Every day. You can read it twice a day. You can read it 3 times a day. But for me, it really helps me reread them because it helps me reconnect to the Dina that took the time and did this work and knew she wanted to have this vision and make sure that she wants to become this type of person and create this amazing change. So I'm rereading what she told me that she wants to do, and I will keep my word for her. Because if I don't read it every single day, I just go back to how I was a few months ago before this work, and I end up forgetting exactly everything that I wanted to do. And I'll find myself in the same situation next year, redoing this exercise and not having accomplished what I wanted to accomplish. The second thing is how will you review and stay accountable to reach your goals? How are you going to keep track of it? Are you going to tell a friend? Are you going to tell your partner? Getting a coach as well, getting you accountable, getting a group to create accountability. The first 3 months are actually the most important ones to help create this kind of flow of keep going. And you need to find a way to be accountable. To be honest, being accountable to yourself is one of the hardest things in the beginning, but in time it will be easy. So first, get some support from a friend, from your partner, from a coach, from a group. Get someone to keep you accountable. And trust me, you're going to be creating 10 times faster and reaching 10 times faster their goal than if you do it on your own in the beginning. And it's going to be a big thing. In one word, what is the culmination of reaching all your goals? What's the one word? What is the one word that's going to be kind of, you're going to be like brainwashing yourself with of why this goal is important? Freedom, health, success, happiness. So picking one word. You can't pick more. But focusing on the one word is actually very important. Very often we talk is like, what is your word of the year? I know we talk about it more in the business world, but it's nice to say what's going to be your focus this year. What's going to be your word of the year? Is it freedom? Is it happiness? Is it health? If you say it's health, if your word is health, then it's actually going to be creating a shift that every single day you're going to be focusing on that word health. That's kind of like your mission statement for the year. Freedom. Everything is good. But seeing like what is that one word that really sums up everything? That all your goals, when you accomplish them, what is that ultimate thing that's going to help you feel? And of course, always have, if you have any reflections or any comments that come to mind regarding this workbook, writing them down. What I really recommend is I went through this a little bit faster because I really want to make sure that you listen to this once and it kind of like starts rummaging. But what's important with this, again, remember, you want to tackle what's been going on the past year. You want to make sure that you focus, brain up all your goals that you want, then picking 3 to 5, but then understanding why are they important? How are they going to impact your life positively? And if you don't go after those goals, how will that negatively impact your life and the people around you? And then shifting in terms of focusing, okay, what are the main 3 ones? How are you going to remember them every single day? How are you going to be accountable about them? And as well, what is that one word that will be your driving force so that your goals are always, always, always top of mind? Because again, accountability, self-accountability is very, very important. And most successful people, they're self-accountable. But it doesn't take away that many people have coaches to help them get through this process, just to give them that little nudge once in a while to keep them going. And if that's for you, again, remember, connect to a friend, your partner, even message me if you'd want us to create this accountability partnership to help you keep moving forward. Even when the doubts pop up, I help people move forward. And I added this on the last page. If you took the time, and I know you will because you're accountable and you showed up because you want to do the work and you want to reach your goals. And many people don't take the time to do this. And just by doing this time, being in this training and going through this workbook, you're already like 1,000 steps ahead than most people that are just going into the same goals and not even fine-tuning to the feeling of what it is to reach their goal. And if you completed this book and you're like, you know what? I need accountability. You tried this on your own, it didn't work out. You know you need somebody to be accountable for you, with you. You know that you need somebody who's like lighthearted, who has been through what you're going through. And you really want to be able to create an amazing relationship with your body, with your food, and as well better understand how to create and become that person you know that you are, and to shift the mindset, shift the personality traits in a certain way to be able to become free in so many different ways in your life. All you have to do is click the link right here, apply to work with me and see if we are a great fit to help you reach your goals. But of course, first work, do all this work, stop sharing, do all this work, make sure that you go through this training again and this workbook 30 to 60 minutes. If you do it in 5 minutes, it's not enough. Do it really in a longer period of time. Take your time, do it with a friend, do it together. And again, remember, life is too short to wait until tomorrow. Today is the day to take the right action. And the right action right now is for you to complete this workbook, go through the training. And the next right action, if it speaks to you, just message me and we can see how we can work together. On that note, I wish you a beautiful time right now, exciting time going through this workbook. Dina Mayer be here, and I'll catch you in the next training.